question on this one is, what was the winning margin in that final? The closest to that winning margin wins. Remember, this was some time ago, so it was in the 3 points for a try era, just so you sort of don't go like 60 or something, Tom.
Wasn't 50
So,
now.
Does anyone want any of those questions again?
No.
So does anyone know what year the first Wembley Challenge Cup final was in?
I don't know. I've guessed. Guessed is 1931.
Sarah?
I guess 19.
Tom?
1925, I guess.
I put
Unfortunately, none of
1923.
you got it. It was 1929. But hopefully you'll have done better on this question. Which side won that first ever Wembley Challenge Cup final?
Good, but because it's you, I'm going to say Wigan.
Guild.
Total guess at Widnes.
It is Wigan.
I went Wigan.
Of course it's Wigan.
Of course he's going to get that question
Also, if
in,
you
you
go
know
with the odds,
that.
they've won the most Challenge Cups. Yeah.
They've won the most.
So what did you get for the winning margin for that game? We'll start with Sarah.
19.
Tom? Paige?
7.
And Alan? Okay, so it was 11, which actually means that Sarah and Paige were both equally as close, so they both get a point. Right, question round 3. How many venues have been used for the Magic Weekend?
Oh.
And then, which of the venues has the highest official capacity?
Ooh.
And the closest wins question is, what is that stadium's capacity? And for Tom's benefit, most stadiums that have hosted the Magic Weekend don't have capacities above 100,000.
Only most of them, there could be one.
Hang on a minute. I don't know what it's called. Can I give any name that this
Yes.
ground has been
Yeah, or
known
even I'll
as?
take the city that it's in. Do we need any of those again?
No.
So, how many venues have been used for the Magic Weekend? Do we want to shout our answers?
5.
5.
So that one. Which one has the highest official capacity of those 5?
City of Manchester.
Millennium Stadium. I can still call it Millennium Stadium. Cardiff.
I put Murrayfield.
So it's, Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. Now the Principality Stadium has the highest attendance of them all. So Alan and Paige, well done.
The highest.
Highest official capacity. Sorry, that's what I said. So what is that capacity? The closest wins. So Tom, we'll start with you.
I've changed my answer now because I know the Murrayfield capacity.
75,000 for Tom. Paige?
75.
Okay, interesting. Alan?
75,000 written down, so I'm going to stick.
I have 1,000.
It's actually 73,931, so Paige is the closest.
Ooh.
Yes.
Paige
Really
gets
good,
that one.
Paige. Definitely impressed.
Thanks.
Who is the current sponsor of Stadium Australia, home of the NRL Grand Final?
Oh, stadium called.
Then the second question is, which year did it first host an NRL Grand Final? And then the closest wins question to this one is, what was the attendance for that first NRL Grand Final at Stadium Australia? The closest win. And Tom, for your benefit on this one, shoot for the stars, mate. It's a big round. Or at least it was back then. Yeah, it's about
It was then.
15 or 20,000 less now, isn't it?
It's not that big now. Yep. It's tiny now.
Does anyone need any more time on any of them?
Hang on, I'm making up a number.
So do we have the
Okay.
current name of the stadium based on the sponsor of the stadium? Anyone?
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I think it's an Australian bank, but I can't think what it is.
Guess the AT&T mobile network.
I went for Budweiser.
Paige?
It's
It's ANZ. So Alan was the closest.
That's it.
But
Oh.
still. What
No
year did
point,
you first hold
no
the grand
point.
final? Now, people who know their Olympic history will kind of have a good idea of guessing around about when this stadium might have opened. So, did anyone get this one?
I thought it was 99.
Sarah?
I think I went 2010.
Tom?
2004.
It is
2002.
1999, so Alan takes that one. And then, what was the attendance for that match? The closest wins. We'll start with Paige.
86,000.
Alan?
I don't know.
It has a spurious claim that it's got the largest crowd. I think it was 1,000.
Yeah.
Official,
Sarah?
yeah. Paying.
I went 98.
So
I
Alan's the
put
closest. It was
89,000.
107,999.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's always weird when it ends on 999 though, isn't it? That's like a weird. Yeah, exactly. Why can't they just get one more bloke in? Just pull him off the street to get it up. Half the time, think shit. We know what the crowd is. Let's get an extra bloke in. Okay, we're now onto the Hull section, guys. We're going to start with the east of Hull, and then we're going to do the west of Hull. So, in the east of Hull section, which stadium opened first? Craven Park in Barrow or Old Craven Park in Hull? So you've got a 50-50 shot at this one, guys. Then the next question on this one is, which Craven Park has hosted Australia more times? And you've got three options this time. Old Craven Park, New Craven Park, or Craven Park Barrow? And then the closest wins is for the number of games that Australia have played at the stadium that they've played at the most of those three. So I want the number of games Australia have played there. And then I actually have an extra bonus question on this one because I couldn't help but ask it. But I think Tom's the only person who's going to have a chance of knowing it, maybe.
No pressure.
New Craven Park hosted the first ever championship fixture in what sporting competition in August 2017? Yeah.
I do actually know it, I think.
So,
Say the
New
question
Craven Park
again.
hosted the first ever championship fixture of which sporting competition in August 2017? So let's go through the answers that people have got on that one. Which opened first, Craven Park in Barrow or Old Craven Park in Hull? What does everyone have?
Old.
It is Hull. It
Hull.
opened in 1922, whereas the Barrow Stadium opened in 1931. Then in terms of which one has hosted Australia the most times, Old, New or Barrow?
Old.
I put Barrow.
So 3 for Old and Tom for Barrow. It was Old Craven Park. But you've got a chance to get the closest wins one anyway. How many games have Australia played there? We'll start with you, Tom.
7.
Paige?
I went with 3.
Alan? Sarah?
I went well.
I went
So
7.
Sarah and Tom both went 7. It is actually 12. So Sarah and Tom
Wow.
both get the point there. And then the bonus question on this one, Tom. Did you get which sporting competition held its first ever championship fixture at New Craven Park in 2017?
Was it?
It was the Quidditch Premier League. Did anyone else get that?
No.
It's alright, because it's like last anyway. So then the final round, which is the west side of the city round. Which Hull FC stadium has hosted more internationals, the Boulevard or the KCOM Stadium? So with this, I'm looking at like kind of test match level internationals, not not where Hull have played against. So not tour matches, international matches. Yeah.
Yeah, full internationals.
Oh, that's a.
Then, I've got the closest wins 1 second in this one. So, how many internationals have they hosted combined? The closest person wins. And then the third question is, which visiting nation has played the most times at the KCOM? So, against England or Great Britain. And unfortunately, there's nothing like a Quidditch kind of nerd question for us to ask, so I don't have a third one.
It's ridiculous.
I just thought, Tom's the right level of nerd and rugby league fan.
I love how you call him a nerd.
Takes one to know one. Yeah.
Coming from Mark, that's quite something.
Not wrong, though.
We're all nerds here. It's fine.
So which stadium? So what have we got for the first one? Which stadium has hosted more internationals, the Boulevard or the KCOM?
KCOM.
Okay.
The KCOM.
Boulevard. I had a think it
Then
might
how
be.
many internationals have they hosted combined? Closest wins. So we'll start this time with Sarah.
18.
Tom?
15.
Paige?
22.
And Alan? It's 16. So Tom just nabs that one. He's back in the game here now. Quidditch was at.
Late comeback.
I thought Quidditch was just Anyway, finally,
If he wins with Quidditch now,
which visiting nation has played the most times at the KCOM Stadium?
New Zealand.
I've gone
It is
New Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Everyone is correct on that one. That means the final score. That was an important one actually, because the final scores in reverse order. Tom ended up with 9, which is good. No, Sarah 8, Tom 9.
Oh.
But you can say that you drew with him if you count the Quidditch one out, Sarah. Paige got 10 and
Counting
Alan
Quidditch.
won with 11. Which means I don't need the
Well
tiebreaker
done.
question.
Thank you. Oh, go on. What's the
What is the
tiebreaker
combined
question?
total maximum capacity of all of the current Super League grounds combined?
It's probably something like 110,000, something like that.
Anyone want to offer something further than 110,000?
Let's see.
125.
We're way off still.
Like higher? We're going to go higher?
Oh, yes, because blooming places like
Yeah, you've got. It's
empty
not like how many
stadiums
fans
like.
go together.
I think it's about 250,000.
195,846. So actually, Sarah, I think you were the closest. You were, yeah.
Closest, yeah. So not 1
Or
point
just give
off
you
Tom.
one back, and then you and Tom split the level.
No, I
We're
beat.
taking Quidditch away.
Yep.
Excellent stuff. Right. Where are we up to? We need to wrap this up. Shit. Any other business, including SLP, recommends? Because I've been doing the show every single week and my life has not really changed at all, even with the slight loosening of lockdown, it's just actually meant that a slight tightening on how much time I'm doing overtime working, I think. So my life hasn't changed at all. I've got nothing new to recommend this week. So that's it quick from me this week. Alan, what about yourself?
Same. My life's no different to
Sarah,
last week.
you had a week off last week, not in the most delightful of circumstances, but we hear that Anna now is fully recovered from her arm pain.
Yeah, she hasn't broken
That
her
is good
arm,
news.
thankfully.
Did you have a recommendation or any other stories to tell us this week?
I would recommend watching Station 9 if you haven't, and you're into that sort of thing. It's like the fire equivalent of Grey's Anatomy, but I'm quite enjoying
So it's like
that.
about fire stations.
Fire stations in America, yeah.
Cool. Tom,
Chicago.
I'm sure you've waited for this day for
Since
at
it's
least
already-
2 years now. You get to